Boom, we are live. Welcome into
Chip,
Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. I am
chip.
Harrison Sanford. Been a minute since we've done this, but had to be done. Coming to you live right after the Oklahoma City Thunder lost in Minnesota to Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. It wasn't even close, even though the final score was 123 to 111. Got to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo and potentially being traded. Got to talk about LeBron James maybe last game in Cleveland. Got to talk about the New York Knicks and what ramifications are, or what is the downfall or potential controversy surrounding them with Giannis Antetokounmpo potentially being traded to the New York Knicks. If you watched NBA basketball on Thursday night, Knueppel and Flagg went absolutely crazy. Big time injury to the Houston Rockets. And before we get out of here, top 5 favorite places to play in the NBA by Danny Green, courtesy of LeBron James, making his way to Madison Square Garden on Sunday, where tickets are over $900. The cheapest ticket I saw, Danny, $912 just to get in the building. They're saying it's the highest priced regular season game since Kobe's farewell game.
Are we saying something? I mean, I spoke about it a bunch of different times, bro. He hasn't announced it yet, and I think he's starting to feel it. Watching him in Cleveland, it's like I think it's all kind of hitting him at once. And if that announcement doesn't come soon, then he has to play another year. But I just don't see him playing another year. I feel like that announcement is coming soon.
You keep saying it. And I frankly, the way that he is playing, the caliber of ball that he is
Don't
playing,
matter what he's playing.
I cannot see it. Now, we did see a report coming on Thursday that the Lakers, if LeBron James wants to come back, the Lakers would ask him to take a pay cut.
You think anybody else is not going to ask him to take a pay cut?
Exactly, which seems reasonable. And I don't think if LeBron James still wants to play basketball, I wouldn't knock him for potentially taking that pay cut and returning to the Los Angeles Lakers or anywhere else that he would want to play.
Is there a world you see him actually doing that? Do you actually see LeBron James taking a pay cut somewhere?
Why not?
If you have to think that long,
if he's building this huge mansion in Beverly Hills, he clearly loves LA. I don't blame him for loving LA, and he's playing for a historic franchise. Why not take a pay cut? I mean, I'm not an NBA player, so I don't know what exactly that means to take your top dollar all the time. But why not?
I've only known LeBron James to take a pay cut once. That's when he went to Miami, and it wasn't a big pay cut. It was very much a small. Like if he's taking a small scale, like yeah, I'll take $40 million, but he's 42. He's going to be 42 next year. What organization? Again, now Lakers, they're talking about a significant discount. That's not $40 million. Now Cleveland might do that. Oh, farewell till we know. Like we'll give you 1 year for the farewell. Lakers want to win. Now Cleveland, if they do that, they can't win. Like if you take up $40 million for LeBron, you have to get rid of some people. And you have to get rid of some youth. And probably one of your all-stars, whether it's Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, maybe Jared Allen, who's not an all-star, but one of your top dogs probably has to go somewhere. So, again, I ask you, what world do we see LeBron James taking a pay cut, like a significant pay cut, and also being a shell of himself?
First of all, I'm scrapping any notion of LeBron James being a shell of himself.
So you don't think by next year he won't be?
No, Daddy. I know what you have tried to. I know what you've seen or you thought would happen, and obviously you being an athlete and watching your own athleticism go, like maybe you're more.
I watched everybody's athleticism go. I've seen Vince Carter's athleticism go. He's the most athletic motherfucker to play in our league. So at 42 years old, at 24 seasons, it's just normal, natural for everybody to think that. He's human. He's showing human.
Yes, but yet and still a diminished, quote unquote, LeBron James is still very much, when he's on the floor, more than likely the second best player, at worst the third best player on the floor. So why would
depends on what group you're talking about? He's definitely a third best player.
Danny, when they played the Cavs the other night, okay, he's not better than Luka, But on some nights he could be just as good as Donovan Mitchell. But okay, he's not better than Donovan Mitchell right now. Okay, so he's a third best player on the court. Why would I want to retire if I'm still a top 15, 20 player in the NBA? He's not a Vince Carter reserve like how Vince Carter was when he was. No, he's still a superstar, bro. Why would I want to? Why would I want to retire?
His superstardom is based on his brand. It's not about the numbers. Again, some people argue that he shouldn't be in the All-Star game. Realistically, if Austin Reeves is on that court, he's their third best player on the Lakers. Not just on the floor, he's their third best player. He's very good. I'm not saying he's not. But you're saying as of right now. I'm saying as of next year. He is good.
I'm not. I understand what you're saying, but
it's this human nature. You're gonna diminish some at 40. Each year that you're over 40, you're probably gonna diminish some. So you take a diminish from 22 points a game to probably 17, 18. He's no longer the third best player on the floor anymore. He's not, and that's usually worth $40 million. So are you gonna pay $40 million for that? Like that's the question. Are you gonna pay $40 million? Because that's still a pay cut for LeBron James.
So maybe he's not getting 40. Maybe he's getting paid like your average NBA starter. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I don't know how.
What's that number?
Probably 25.
You think LeBron James is going to take a $25 million deal for 1 year?
If I was still one of the best players in the world, a top 20 player, which LeBron James is, if I was a top 20 player in the league, why not, Danny? If you really, Danny, how many people in this?
Exactly. If it's the only offer on the table, it's not going to be the only offer on the table. You really think that though? Okay. You think that teams are not going to try to offer him to get him to come there for his farewell tour?
I understand what you're saying.
He's going to use that as leverage, and he's going to try to get more money.
If you love the game and still can compete at a high level and get paid handsomely for it, so you think it's you said this before. So you think this is it? You think he's not coming back next year? I think he's coming.
I think he has to, because he has to do a farewell tour. If he doesn't announce it by All-Star break, he's not announcing it. But I think he's going to announce it at some point this year. And I just don't see a world where he takes a pay cut, that much of a pay cut, to play. Just say Cleveland will pay him more than that. Like he'll go back to Cleveland. He's going to get. It's still a business at the end of the day. Like LeBron James is a business, bro. Again, I've never known him to take that much of a pay cut.
Okay.
Regardless of how much you love the game, he'll go to Dubai and get $70 million a year before he's, bro. Like what?
So
go to Saudi Arabia.
When your career was coming to an end, and at your highest market value, you're probably what, relative to what it was at the time, you're probably like a 15, probably like a $20 million per year player, depending on where you signed, depending on when you got that opportunity. Towards the end of your career, where you still could have been a quality role player, would you have not taken a lot less money to be a role player again? Would you have not have taken the vet minimum?
If that's all I'm being offered, yes.
Exactly.
I'm saying he's not going to be offered that age. You really think everybody in the world is going to offer him 20? Like, bro, what? No, you think his only offer on the table is going to be that much of a cut?
No, no. There's going to be some. Yes, there's going to be some places that are going to offer him a lot of money, and he probably just doesn't want to go there. My point is, at the end of the day, he's still going to be a top 20 player in the league, and there's still going to be some teams. I think he's going to leave. I think he's going to leave it on top. I don't think he wants to leave out with he can feel the. So regardless of all the X's and O's of the contract bullshit for next year, it ain't about next year. For me, it's his body this year. Like he can feel it, bro. Like his body, he sees how he's reacting, going through another training camp, trying to play another. Like he has nothing left to prove, bro. He's nothing left to prove. And the Lakers are not giving that extension he wants, and he's not going to play to the level. Like he's still playing at a good level, but a LeBron James level is very different than a good level. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he comes back and says, all right, I'm just going to be at the end of somebody's, just do a farewell tour with Cleveland. He's not.
Lakers at a very much discount just to be, you know what I'm saying, on the sidelines and playing very much less minutes and being like, all right, this farewell tour, this is the season about us.
I'm at the point where I believe anytime he steps on the court, he's going to be a quality player. And so therefore, if he can still get paid to do it, I think he'll be on the court. And whatever like ego hit he could take because he's not the best player on the world, he could also take the credit for still being good enough at his age to we've never to play at a high level. So like, yeah, you could say maybe he wants to leave the game on top, but part of like celebrating his game is realizing the fact that he's playing at a damn high level at a very old age.
I agree.
For a basketball
with
player.
that.
You could take he could take pride in that.
I agree with all those things, H. I just don't see the Lakers saying, "All right, we're going to make the season about LeBron James and pay him what he wants and make this a fair." They want to win. Like Cleveland, I could see doing that. They'll pay him the money, but I just again like see him as like a different type of in Cleveland as a different type of player and just be like, "Oh, I'm doing my farewell tour." I guess it's hard to see. He's not going to be the same LeBron James.
Might be hard to see, but I think it'll happen. I'm looking forward to Sunday when he comes to Madison Square Garden.
You think it's going to happen in LA, or you think it's going to happen in somewhere else?
Well, I'll save my answer for the end of the show because we got too much. we got too much going on. Okay. I only brought up LeBron James because the ticket prices in Madison Square Garden on Sunday are going to be ridiculous, and I bet you he still puts on the show. With that being said, I want to get down to what happened this evening, Thursday evening. Thunder take down the Thunder are taken down by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards and company pretty much had the game in hand from the beginning of it. Final was 123-111. I don't know if there's anything too much to take away from this game, Danny. No Jalen Williams for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Isaiah Hartenstein came back into the rotation, but on limited minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like the Minnesota Timberwolves were bound to win this game. They have too much smoke for the Oklahoma City Thunder, particularly when the Oklahoma City Thunder don't have all their guys in there. AJ Mitchell didn't play as well. Your thoughts on the game? Any big takeaways?
Just Jalen Williams and Chet have not been consistent this year to me.
Well, Jalen Williams hasn't played really.
When he has played, he's played enough. He's played enough in the last month or two. And he has not, and I'm waiting for him to get his legs under him. He's maybe one game here and there, but I have not seen enough consistency from him or Chet this year. But OKC just hasn't been, like, as of late, they've really tailed off the last month and a half or so. But again, Minnesota is a very good team, and they take down giants. They're known to get, like, in a regular season, they'll beat the Denver Nuggets. They'll beat the Knicks. They'll beat OKC. You know what I'm saying? They'll beat top dogs. But I feel like in a playoff series, I don't have a lot of faith in them of getting far right now with the roster they have as constructed. But they're known to beat up on some of these. Like, they take down some giants during the regular season. But again, OKC to me just has been very inconsistent. And Shea has always been consistent. His life has been consistent. He spoke about it. But the other guys that are quote unquote your all-stars or big three have not been there enough to like help. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these games, you shouldn't lose to Indiana. You shouldn't lose to one of those games. Charlotte, you're gonna get like it's just you lay an egg sometimes. Okay, that happens. But some of the games they lose to these groups, I'm like, how did that happen? Like, how does this happen? Even if you're resting guys, like you should still be able to beat some of these groups.
Well, the thing about I'm not going to worry about OKC. I would like to see them have their guys healthy. Oh yeah, Alex Caruso did not play tonight, so they consistently don't have their guys. Looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves, they won this game and they won this game handily. But I think when I look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you pointed out the playoffs, and you pointed out the difference between playoffs and regular season, I look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I look at the Houston Rockets standing, and I say to myself, these teams are just. They're so good. They have the capability of going far. But if you watch them in clutch time, and I wish I pulled up the clutch time numbers, both of these teams are just devout of playmaking, steady decision-making towards the end of the game. You go back to last night, Danny, when the Rockets were hosting the Spurs, and it just seemed as if every single possession down the end of the game just got thwarted. Yes, Victor Wembanyama was on the court. And yes, guys like Stephon Castle were picking up at half court on ball handlers. But it still felt, and KD got frustrated. It just feels like you're going to see poor offensive possessions towards the end of the games for the Timberwolves and for the Rockets. And with the trading deadline coming up, I feel like it's an area that they have to address if they really want to go far.
Point guard situation, and now losing Steven Adams hurts them a lot. Houston really, this year, that's going to be a tough break for them. So yeah, Minnesota's always had these issues, right? Fourth quarter, clutch time. I thought it was inexperienced, smart coaching. They were just one of the worst fourth quarter teams and clutch time teams. And it's because all they do is double Anthony Edwards and make other guys make plays. But at least before you had Nickeil Alexander-Walker, you know what I'm saying? You had him that could help you some. When you lose him, that's a big piece missing. Mike Conley was solid. He's older now, so he hasn't been able to do something. But without Fred VanVleet, you got Reed Shepherd's been playing well. He's producing, but you still need a table setter that's consistent. You're using Şengün as your big man point guard, and Amen Thompson, who's also good. But again, you need somebody that's steady, bro. What you got?
Yeah, so Daddy, I brought it up because I was doing stats the other day for a hit I was doing, and so I wanted to look at how teams are performing in the clutch. And remember, I said I'm worried about the Timberwolves and I'm worried about the Rockets. Guess who the last two teams are in terms of turnovers in clutch time this year? Minnesota's 29th. The Rockets are 30th. They just cannot. Yes, the eye test will tell you, but the numbers will actually tell you they cannot finish games. So yes, the Timberwolves look great tonight, blowing out OKC. Make that a clutch time game in the playoffs, and I don't see that happening, which is why I think they're going to be very interesting, both of those teams, the Rockets and the Timberwolves, when it comes to the trading deadline, which is just going to be next Thursday. So we're right up on it. With the trading deadline being said, how could we talk for basketball this long without talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo? Danny, how does this play out? Does he get traded by the trading deadline? Does he get traded in the offseason?
I think it happens in the offseason, but he really wants to get traded by the deadline because then he can sign his extension earlier. He can sign his extension in October. But if he gets traded in the offseason, he will then have to wait until that January of 2027 to sign his extension. But there's only, a week left? I know Golden State is heavily pursuing him. So if it does happen, it'll probably be one of those teams. I don't know if he's that happy to go there and sign an extension there. But yeah, I think the noise is too loud. And usually when the noise is too loud, nothing ever happens.
Yeah, and so I just wonder, Danny, is there, if you're the Bucks, and apparently they're ready to trade Giannis, and I'm happy they've gotten to this point for the Bucks' sake. Mm-hmm. Is there a world where an offer can come in that won't be eclipsed by an offer that comes in during the offseason? So many more teams could then offer up draft capital. More teams are going to be desperate. If you're the Houston Rockets, for example, and you go to the playoffs and you're like, wow, we failed in the first round or second round, or Timberwolves might be, or the Warriors end up not even making the playoffs and they lose in the play-in or something. Those teams are going to be so much more desperate in the offseason. Whereas now you might have a concentrated group of teams, for example, the Miami Heat might be interested, the Warriors might be interested, and maybe the Knicks, right? The Knicks are going to be, as they should be lukewarm about doing it right now. But if the Knicks don't go to the finals, if the Knicks don't win in the NBA finals, then that offer from the New York Knicks is going. I just don't see. I see this as the Milwaukee Bucks saying,
you might cut out a little bit, but yeah, I'm with you.
We're not gonna do what the Mavericks did. We're not just gonna trade Giannis in the blink of an eye, mid-season out of nowhere. We're gonna start taking offers now, and we're gonna take it all the way for the next we're gonna take it for the next 5 months. Let me see what your offers are like. Let me see how, and then Giannis can evaluate the roster, what the rosters look like, and then we'll make the move. It just doesn't make any sense to me to do it now. Even if Giannis wants this to happen now. If I'm the Bucks, I can't get my best offer.
It doesn't make sense for the Milwaukee Bucks because, if you wait, you'll get teams, again, more desperate. And in desperation mode, they will offer a lot more. Right now, though, there are some teams that are very desperate. I think Golden State is very desperate. I think Miami is pretty desperate, but not as desperate as Golden State.
But is a desperate Warriors offer ever going to be better than a Knicks offer? Is a desperate
or San Antonio or Houston or
exactly.
or even
It's
OKC.
never gonna be.
Like I'm saying, like those teams have Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota. They ranked it who has the easiest path of making it happen. Detroit was one. Golden State was pretty high. Knicks were actually 8th toughest because you deplete all your roster. But yeah,
Right
those other
now,
teams will have some groups. Yeah.
yeah, it just doesn't seem like it makes the most sense. With that being said, if you wanted pick the one place you'd want to see Giannis playing, if you were Giannis, rather yet, where would you want to go?
I mean, the teams that don't they're on hold right now. They don't kind of want them. You know what I'm saying, like they're like we're okay for right now. I think it's the teams in Texas. It's really Houston and San Antonio. I think you have your best shot at winning. And of course, you want to stay East. You do have, because the East is so wide open, you do have a really good opportunity of coming out of the East. Miami's a nice place, but I don't think it's Miami. I don't think you can win right now. Like, you'd have to add some pieces in Miami to get that done. If you're going to stay East, it's got to be New York. But if not New York, if you want to battle and for sure win you a title out West, then to beat OKC, not just join OKC, you'd have to join one of those Texas teams. So
I wanted to bring up the New York Knicks because you just mentioned that. I still think the Knicks would be the best option for him. But again, he might have to, I just don't think the Knicks are going to press the button on it just yet, or they should press the button on it just yet. With that being said, I want to go back to Wednesday night because after the game, a very interesting quote from Mikal Bridges, Danny, in terms of how he played, or I guess the epiphany he was having when he did his post game interview. It was a game where he scored over 30 points.
Felt entitled.
One of his better games in the year, 12 of 15 field goal shooting. And this is what he said after being interviewed after the game. I think I wasn't coachable enough. I don't know. Maybe I felt too entitled, had to talk to myself, be coachable, be the best teammate I can be, let the basketball speak for itself. What does that mean? What happened, in your opinion?
That's a good question, man. I don't know why it took, I'm going to say this long, but you have a good game, it's easy to kind of reflect and say, but again, it's hard for him in his role to be, because he's used to being I won't say the guy, but in Phoenix, he was kind of a really good role player there, right? But when he got to Brooklyn, he was the guy. He used to have the ball in his hands and then you have to make that adjustment to come to the Knicks side and be like, all right, I got to take way less of a role. In his mind, he probably felt like, this is hard as hell. It's frustrating. Like, I'm a max guy. Like, I should be getting involved in the offense. Now, I mean, he's got the extension, he's got the money, so it's like, all right, I ain't got to trip as much anymore, but I still feel. But once you take a step back and like, all right, this is what the team needs, this is what I need to do, maybe I can make things easier, not only for them, but for myself. If I'm not stressing or pressing as much, I think the game will just fall into place. We'll see if this is consistent or it stays that way. I would predict with their offense he's not going to get as many touches, but he will be the guy to make the glue plays. Him and OG are the guys to make defensive and offensive, like right place, right time plays and knocking down, shots when needed. And he was one of the guys that came up clutch for them in the playoffs, last year when they beat Boston. So he's still going to be that guy, but I think him mentally, he was like, all right, I just needed to take a step back and not feel entitled and just be grateful that I'm in this league and be able to hoop for a really good contending team in this NBA.
I wonder how much the trade talk about not just Karl-Anthony Towns but Bridges as well, as it pertains to Giannis Antetokounmpo, has played a factor in how they've played so far this year, because it's a very unique situation, Danny, because very rarely do you have a team in their conference having to deal with such massive trade rumors. Like, yes, every team deals with trade rumors this time of year, but usually if you're that quality of a team, if you're favored to go that far, it usually involves role players, guys off the bench. It doesn't involve guys who will get a max level contracts. Usually a max level type of deal is saved for teams that maybe only get to the first round, maybe only predict to get to the second round. When you're an Eastern Conference favorite, you don't expect to have that opportunity. You don't expect to hear those type of rumors. So I can't imagine what it was like, or what it has been like for Cat, for Mikal Bridges to deal with the trade rumors on an Eastern Conference Finals favorite, all while having a new head coach with a new system that seems to be very different from Tom Thibodeau and how they operate. So I can't even process how that might be. I wonder if you have a take on that.
I've never been a star player, so I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
I just know it's been difficult to adjust to certain coaches, certain systems, when you're not as involved and when you're not even used as a decoy, or when you have to adjust to playing style that you're not used to. Like I'm a transition shooter. We have to slow down and feed the post every time. All right, this is gonna take some adjusting. Like even when we got LaMarcus in San Antonio, like all right, I got to take some adjusting here. Even with AD and Bron and LA with the post, our offense wasn't that smooth. Philly, the same with Joel. I got to find ways to make myself impactful, not just defensively, but offensively. How do I get looks if we're just standing in the corner? It's really based upon if they double him or not. So that's when I created that baseline to baseline cut, or figuring out how to push the break or try to get more transition stuff. So yeah, it's tough. Or go to offensive glass. So trying to figure that out, man, it's not easy when you're used to being in a beautiful game type of system like San Antonio on the basketball moves and hops, and even in Toronto, drive, kick, swing. When you're not having that and not everybody's touching the ball, it's frustrating to be able to figure out like, all right, there's no offense designed to what I'm doing, so I have to figure out how to find like my place here. So yeah, that's a different thing.
You've never had a situation where you've changed head coaches, but yet still had the same roster, huh? Right? Like when you were you was always Pop in San Antonio. Yes, you were
Yeah,
in Toronto for 1 year. When you were with the Lakers, it was only 1 year. So you
Frank.
never, unlike the Knicks,
Philly.
where they're
Yeah, I
Philly
never
was
had a
it was
change. I
it was
never had a
always
coaching
It was always
change when I was
Doc.
there. But we had Doc and then Nick Nurse my last brief time. I didn't stay there long enough
Yeah.
to have Doc. So like it's
So to
hard to
have
say.
the same,
Yeah.
yeah, to have the same roster, but then a whole different setup with the new head coach has to
Yeah.
be
No,
very, yeah.
it has to be difficult. Yeah, I've never had like a whole new come in and be like, all right, we're changing stuff. This is how we're doing it now. It's like, damn, okay, we got to scrap all of that. So no. Again, adjusting to Nick Nurse in Philly was but I played for Nick before. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of adjustment. But
Mm.
yeah, I couldn't. I said even coaching staff midseason, like that's got to be something crazy. I've never had to experience that.
All right. Speaking of the Eastern Conference, you and I still believe that the Knicks are going to go to the NBA Finals and represent the Eastern Conference.
That's correct.
There has been some developments with one Jason Tatum. As we get closer and closer to the All Star break, and really where teams are solidifying their rosters, there has been some noise that maybe Jason Tatum can come back. But then recently, we've heard reports, and I think it was from Chris Haynes, that he is having second thoughts about potentially coming back this season and doesn't want to be too premature about returning. Right now, the Boston Celtics are a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference. Jaylen Brown is playing at a very high level, and you could make an argument that he should be the MVP this season. What should Mr. Tatum do?
I think he shouldn't rush, man. Like I don't think even if he comes back, I don't see Boston winning a championship. So it's like, why rush to come back? But to me, I'm like, your mindset is, bro, think second guessing like that you would affect or like change or your integration is gonna mess up the chemistry. Like, bro, come on. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you should never worry or think that or second guess yourself. Like, to me, when I heard the interview, it was like he's second guessing himself because he's like, they have a rhythm, they have a rapport, they have an identity. How does that look when I come back? Bro, bro, you one of the best players in the world. They'll figure it out. And again, I said this on NBA Today. I'm damn near 40 years old, bro. If I go to NBA court right now, I bet you one thing defense ain't gonna do. They ain't gonna leave me just because they know that I can shoot the ball. Like I can create some space. I may not be great, but they just know that I'm capable of doing some like, oh, we ain't gonna just leave Danny in the corner. Jason Tatum, they ain't gonna just leave you wide. Like, even if you're not involved in the play, your presence is an effect in a good way for your group. Let alone, we know you can score the ball and do multiple things. So I don't see why you would ever question that or like second guess yourself and thinking that you would ruin their identity. They definitely need help. They can use your help because you're one of the top American basketball players in the world. So yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. But yes, if your Achilles is not fully healed, don't do it. It's only been 8 months. I only had a knee, so I don't know what an Achilles is like, but I think it's a little trickier. But you're always known to be better that second year around. So I'm like, if you're not going to win this year, just take your time, come back. There's no rush, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on that type of way for him.
I just think it just matters what expectations does he have for himself when he comes back. Does he expect to be? I don't think he expects to be the best version of himself, obviously. But does he expect to be a 1B? Can he be?
Not right away.
Can he just be happy with being a floor spacer and a catch and shoot player? Can he be happy with that, or would that diminish some of his confidence? I don't know. I think that's the trickiest part. It's not should he come back or not. Like if he's healthy enough to play, he should. But I think the challenge would be in what aspects would they expect Jason Tatum to be Jason Tatum, and what aspects do they not, and what about the expectations that he has for himself?
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be superstar. I think he's coming back like naturally. Just your mental is like, I'm gonna try to fit in at first. It's gonna take him some time. I'm not gonna ruin. So he's just gonna be that spot up guy, kind of like what Book was in Olympics. And then he'll work his way back because his confidence ain't gonna fully be there, like to make those moves full speed, like and to jump the way he's known to jump. So I think naturally he's gonna just take his time, integrate himself, and not like try to be 1B right away.
There is a benefit though. Yes, you want Jason Tatum to almost have a lot of control in this in some aspects. But Danny, I do think there's a benefit in going through the playoffs without Jason Tatum. All those other guys are just going to get better. I keep on referencing this. When Ja Morant missed all that time in Memphis, Desmond Bane became a better basketball player.
Tyus Jones. You cut out. Santi Aldama, like, there's a list of guys, but I think your mic is cut out right now.
Right. So I think hopefully it's good now. With that being said, Derek White has played very good this year. Let's see what Derek White looks like in the playoffs when teams are really focusing. And I think whether it goes well or it goes poorly, it's only going to make Derek White a better player, which I think he's still very much a core piece of this group. Peyton Pritchard has played very good this year, but is Peyton Pritchard going to be able to replicate that in the playoffs? I don't know, because it's going to be a lot different spotlight than he's ever had in his career. But whether he plays poorly or whether he plays well, it's only going to make Peyton Pritchard a better player when you get Jason Tatum back. So if Jason Tatum is kind of iffy on coming back, I don't see the harm in the Celtics saying we have already won this season, quote unquote. Let's use this playoffs to get more information on our team and who can be around for next year's team and for next year's and years after that.
I'm with you on that. It's definitely some character building, especially, again, what I said, I don't see them winning a championship this year, like even if he were to come back. So why rush him back and risk him having re-injury when I feel like you're not going to win this year anyway? So just let him take his time, let those other guys character build, let them other guys experience the playoffs without him. And then, he gets that time in the summertime also to heal his tendon, and he'll be even stronger by the time they're ready, so just take your time with it, man. I just don't think it needs to rush.
Continuing to go with everything that we saw, whether it be last night or tonight. I don't know if you watched it, Danny, but the rookies went crazy tonight in Dallas. Cooper Flagg, I believe he finished with 49 points. He set a rookie record for the Dallas Mavericks, which was pretty cool.
49 points.
Because they retired Mark Aguirre's jersey in Dallas tonight. Mark Aguirre had the previous record for rookies in Dallas Mavericks history, scoring 43, I believe. So on the night they retired Mark Aguirre's jersey, Cooper Flagg went ahead and had 49 to set a new franchise rookie record. Shout out to Mark Aguirre, but I would also say a 38-minute halftime ceremony is kind of out of pocket. Like 38 minutes is kind of OD. Like, you could have done it after the game, for sure.
A little bit.
Kind of like what the Bulls did with Derrick Rose.
They could have made it 20 minutes. They could have made it 20 minutes.
Well,
they didn't have to be 30 minutes.
If the franchise feels like he deserves to get his jersey retired, good for them. Retire the jersey. But don't put it during halftime. Because if you put it during halftime, you run the risk of condensing it and not letting the emotions flow. And from what I saw, it was a very emotional ceremony. Isaiah Thomas was there, which apparently is Mark Aguirre, one of Mark Aguirre's good friends, and he broke down in tears at times. And so you don't want to curtail that because the second half is going to happen.
So at the end of the game,
do it at the end of the game, like the Chicago Bulls did with Derrick Rose. Do it at the end of the game. With that being said, the rookies went off. Maybe next time we come around, probably ask you to look at some film and give us your top 5 rookies so far this year, because overall, Danny, a very impressive class, whether it's Flagg,
Yeah, so far.
Knueppel, VJ Edgecombe, Trey. Yo, I've been watching. Forgive me, I've been watching some Wizards basketball recently. Trey Johnson,
hooping, bro.
Trey Johnson can shoot the ball.
Shoot
Don't
that
get it
thing.
twisted. Yeah, so I'm very. I love what we have from the rookie class so far. Very much impressed.
Very optimistic about this group moving forward. Yeah, they're good, man. They got a lot of good stuff going on. So
the thing about Flagg that's interesting to me, that his aggressiveness, I still don't think he does anything great yet. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, he hasn't developed it yet. So that's why somebody's like, he got game. Like, he hasn't really developed his bag yet. He's just athletic, fast, plays hard, does the little things, plays the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a little spin move here or there, like maybe between legs behind the back, but he hasn't really gotten to, like, I feel like he can, little Gordon Hayward, you know what I'm saying? Like, develop a little
even more. Yeah, he does. It doesn't really, again, it's not no shade to him, but yeah, it just doesn't feel like he doesn't necessarily shoot the 3 well, doesn't necessarily have a mid range yet. He attacks the basket relatively well, but like it's still so much more room to grow, which is just scary because
he's just barely scratching the surface, and he's getting 49 right now.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Okay, what else do we have to get through here? Oh yes. Before we go, we do need your top 5, Danny, in honor of LeBron James. I can't believe we spent so much time arguing about LeBron to start the show. In honor of LeBron James,
it's a good argument.
Going to Madison Square Garden on Sunday, which again, tickets are $912 right now. The cheapest ticket to get is $912. I'll be there on Sunday. I ain't paying that money. Don't get it twisted. But I'll be in the building. Danny, give us your top 5. Top 5 arenas to play in. And I said arenas because you're allowed to include any college arena. I don't know when you were at North Carolina if you ever played at Rupp Arena. Obviously, you played at Cameron Indoor Arena. But did you ever play at Allen Fieldhouse, or did you ever play at Rupp Arena?
We never played Kansas at Kansas. We played at Kentucky. It was okay.
What? Really? You just thought it was okay? Nah, Rupp Arena goes up.
It was solid, but I don't think they were that good that year. They just had Rondo. I don't think they had anybody else. We got them. It was solid, but I think it was my freshman year. So it's a long ways to remember that.
If it was that memorable, of arena, you would have remembered it.
I remember playing. I remember we got them and we played well. So it was a good arena, but I feel like you have to play in it more than once to actually get like the real feel for it. So it's hard for me to gauge that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I loved Rupp Arena. I've been there a couple of times. Great environment. You know, low key, the other one that was in Louisville. I think it's the KFC Yum Center. That the building itself is beautiful. I don't know if there's any of our listeners out there who've been to a Louisville basketball game, but the KFC Yum Center, I think it's still called that, is absolutely beautiful. I did not enjoy the Carrier Dome where Syracuse plays because it's in a goddamn football arena. There's some other ones I could go through. We could talk about college arenas in a moment.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
Yeah, this
I'll put
is for you
Cameron
now.
at number 5.
Top 5 arenas for you to play in.
I'll put Cameron at number 5. Not many colleges. I mean, we played in Maryland. It was live. They had in Clemson. They were pretty good with the funny shit. Like the newspapers in Maryland talk crazy. They beat us, so they stormed the court. It was crazy. But everywhere we went to was kind of crazy. When you're number 1 in the country, it's crazy. Also, you know, it was live. UC Santa Barbara, when we played them on our way to Hawaii, there was live, bro. Like they had a mascot dude. I don't even think he had a outfit on. They just had goggles and a cape, and he was doing some Stifler shit, just humping the air. But they had a chant. It was crazy, bro. Like
I'm surprised you're still out of all the college arenas and every arena you have played in.
I'll never forget it. But it was live there. But I'll put Cameron at number 5 for sure. Number 4.
Wait, before you go to number 4, you got to describe what Cameron was like. Give me some
6,000 people on top. You know what I'm saying? It's small gym. It reminds me of St. Mary's. St. Mary's is a small gym. We had an advantage, but it's 6,000 people right on top of you. And they got the fans. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like they're yelling. I feel like they go to classes to learn these chants. They're all in one band, one sound, chorus, choir of chanting these things. And sometimes they'll find some funny shit about you. Back then it was Facebook on internet or something and have a poster. They'll make a poster of you. Mind you, we didn't see AI and like virtual like things people like turned into that. We didn't see much of that. So if they can make Tyler Hansbrough look like funny as hell and some type of, oh, we've never seen that before. They had the Speedo guy that's before I got there, the guy that did Speedo free throws. He would stand up, drop the robe, and have the Speedo. You couldn't YouTube that, but that was before I got there.
So 6,000 people on top of you actually felt more imposing than some arenas where it's 20,000 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Mind you, because the magnitude of the game, every time you step in there, every time we played them, but the magnitude of the game in there and how loud it got, and it was just shaking, and it's kind of old. But yeah, bro, it's right on top of you, and it's intense, bro. It's intense. So that's definitely number 5 for me.
I would say this. And shout out, Duke has been a very good school for a very long time. But speaking about on top of you, I hate watching Duke basketball games. Not because of the talent, but because of the way that Cameron Indoor is set up, Danny. And you could probably notice this. You notice that the camera angle is always different. It's like it's not the typical basketball angle, like where the broadcast team has to set up. Like it's like set up so like it's more of a shot down. It's not as like straight on. So it's like a more of an overhead camera. And I think that's just because of how Cameron Indoor Stadium is set up.
So you think it's time for a change? They need a new stadium, basically, what you're saying.
Like even when you watch a Duke game, you'll notice that you can't see, if I'm thinking about this correctly, where the cameras are set up, you don't see the head coaches, you don't see the benches, because they have to put the camera on the same side of the court as where the coaches are. So when you look, like when I watch an NBA game right now, I just watched the Thunder take on Oklahoma City. I could see Chris Finch. I could see Rudy Gobert on the bench. The way
they have all the angles.
Set up
NBA
the way it's set up at. Well, no, but not even most college arenas. You're able to see. It's with the way it's set up. I could see the coaches, and I could see this, and I could see the staff, and I could see the players. Cameron Indoor is set up so that the camera doesn't see the coaches. Yeah. Unless they have like the main camera that pans left to right. You can't see it. You can only see the coaches when they have to go to an alternate shot. It's just set up differently for TV broadcast purposes, but that's just my TV rant. Go ahead, my bad. Number 4.
You good, bro. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Boston, the Garden in Boston.
TD Garden.
Yeah, it gets live in there. And we've had some afternoon games. It was fun. Battles. I mean, every team that I've played on has had real battles with the Celtics, and I've had some pretty solid outings there. But that's a different type of fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like Philly has some hardcore, but this is like a different type of fan base. Especially during my younger years, that time it was a very different type of fan base. But yeah, it gets rocking. And when they had some before guys would kick people out the stand, like players would get guys tossed, and fans would say there was some slurs being made out there. Some redneckish happening. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like when I was in college and we go to NC State. Like there was going to be some country, redneck is happening at times. So Boston has that type of Northeast, but also a mixture of like its own little world of like, there was some slurs in the younger years, like 10, 15 years ago. So yeah, but it was just a lot of fun because you're playing. They were always, even when they had Rondo and KG, even after that, it was always pretty solid. Had good groups, good teams. You know what I'm saying? Number 3.
So you would say they have a good, passionate fan base, regardless. Would you say it's because of like TD Guard? Would you say TD Guards are always fun to play, regardless of the team quality? Because that's important.
Yeah, I don't recall a time. I don't think they were good the whole time that I played, but I don't recall a time me going in there and it was never like it was an easy win or it was never live. Like it was always live, bro, and there's always like lights, camera, action when you're in that building, and there's always a big game, even if they didn't have superstars, even they had like Isaiah Thomas. Like there was always like lights, camera, action. This is a historic building, and even how you entered it, it was just historic, man. And it's kind of like the Garden. So,
what do you mean how you entered it?
I just remember we always had the bus drivers have to be lethal with their driving skills, bro. Like they had this ramp in this tunnel that was tight as shit. And if you and 1 inch to right or left, the rearview mirrors is coming off, and you have to reverse in. And I think like to get in there it's a very, and I'm like, damn, this is tight. You gotta, it's like it takes some time to get in the tunnel there. I think they changed that tunnel, but it's like a ramp that goes up, and you have to you reverse in there. So it's not easy getting in and out. But historic building, man. Had a lot of fun. It was crazy. It was amazing, bro.
Okay.
Same goes with the rest of these that I'm listing off. Number 3, the old Golden State Arena. Rocking. Rocking. Come out to the Iron Man. I'm like, this shit hard. I'm here like, damn, I feel like I'm coming. I'm saying like they had
that's
that
what
joint
that way
rocking,
is
bro.
that's not what the visitors came out to. That's what they came out.
That's what they came out to. But out here, I would be hype. You know, I'm a Marvel fan. So I'm like, oh, this shit, they coming out to that? Like, so yeah, they had it rocking in the Oracle, bro. It was fire.
Now it's believed a lot of people would say there's no arena that ever got louder. Now you can still fancy some other arenas that you want to play in for different reasons, but
depends
in your opinion,
I've seen OKC get crazy. I mean, the teams that I've played, like even San Antonio, like at home, like we've gotten some loud, crazy enough. The one time my rookie year, and I never saw it again like this ever again. And that's probably why the arena was so old. And they changed it right away. But in Sacramento, when they had Tyreek in them, when we played, they were LeBron in them. I feel like the stadium was shaking, bro. Like I feel like the shit was gonna come down, like shit was gonna fall down and come down. Like it was old, but the building was shaking. And I was like, damn, it was loud in here. And maybe it's because I was a rookie and it was still like new to me. But I remember that one instance, and Bron and Tyreek were going back and forth, and they were like, yo, Bron was like, let me guard him, because for some reason we couldn't stop Tyreek. Tyreek was just getting to that right hand in and out, scooping him up. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was nice. But he was getting to that right hand. So Bron started guarding him some, but it was his rookie year. He was going in. And that arena was rocking. But consistently, Golden State, we played them in the playoffs multiple times, regular season, and always like was some type of rivalry, like small rivalry to start, and then became a bigger rivalry. And then, of course, they were always good from the years that I played. So you want to play the best teams. At number 2, I'm gonna go Staples, just because you know who's courtside. Everybody, like, and when you get to play the Lakers and it's lights, camera, action, even if the crowd ain't rowdy, you're seeing the top stars and you're having your best games again. Like you're showing out against the Lakers because you know who was there. We had like, and I seen it as a Laker, why opponents come in and shoot the best, give us their best shot, because you're playing the Lakers, like especially you're playing against LeBron James too. Like it's a double point you have to make. So everybody's coming in giving the Lakers their best shot because you're in the city of stars, and it's like, yo, this is where I can make a name for myself. And everybody does come in and make a name for themselves. But you'll see Denzel courtside, or Detective Olivia Benson, which I mean her name is Mariska Hargitay, but I call her Detective Benson because I watch a lot of Law and Order. You don't watch Law and Order.
No, I watch Law and Order.
Salma Hayek or somebody would be courtside. You know what I'm saying? Like Jack Nicholson, he'll be right by the bench. You know what I'm saying? You know, Mark Wahlberg would be there. Like it's super fire, bro. Just seeing those people, because you never get to see them like when you're in San Antonio, or you know what I'm saying, or even in Toronto.
And you get to be the star.
Yeah.
As opposed to them
Floyd Mayweather there. He's betting on your shots. Floyd on the court side, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was big time.
You get to be the star for the time. I understand. I can understand.
Yeah.
And it was when I covered you, when you covered the Lakers while you were there, it was interesting to kind of see how many players who might have been on the injury report for 2 weeks, all of a sudden Laker game went from questionable to probable. Yeah, every time. Yo,
and you see in every halftime was a big handshake of celebrities saying, like, this is a big superstar show, bro. Like every game, before games, after games, halftime, everybody's saying what's up, shaking hands. You see all the stars come out, especially when the Lakers are good. They're gonna be there. And number 1, bro, the Garden. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no place rocking like the Garden, especially when I'm from there. You got your family and friends there, and they still cheering for me. Like I get some cheers from random people because they know me from being there. But playing in that place, man, the Northeast is nothing like Northeast fans, even like Philly fans. But like the Garden fans, they get rocky in there. So the playoffs, I got a chance to play there in the playoffs. Finally, toward the end of my career when I was with Cleveland, and it was an experience, bro. And I'm like, yo, And I could see why some of those young guys will be like a deer in headlights in that arena. They had it going, bro. They had it going. So
I've been to way too many Knicks games now that I could even imagine, which I'm very thankful for. The energy in there is second to none. And I've been to a lot, as I've referenced, I've been to a lot of Lakers games too, and they have great fans as well. But it feels as if with the Knicks fan base, everybody knows everything. And even if you're a star, like, you know, a relatively popular like
Ben
artist, whatever,
Stiller, yeah, somebody they know everything about every player on
they
that
know
team. They
everything about.
diehard fans, bro. They follow basketball. They watch basketball. They like the game. They enjoy the game. It's not just Spike. It's Fat Joe, 50. It might be Cam, Kiss, whoever's out there, like actors, actresses, Jenner, Chalamet, whoever.
They all
Owners,
the team. They know the team for real, and that's the beautiful part of it. And
yeah, bro.
You're getting me excited. We've got a long ways. We got a long ways to
They
go.
better show up. They better show up and show out, man. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, but the other part of that too, that also means that the teams that they go against want to show out as well. Want to get out of here. Trying to see if
before we get out of here, I need to know where do you see LeBron finishing his career? His last year. We ain't getting off that easy, brother. I need to know. Since you think he's gonna take the significant pay cut, where's that gonna be?
I think LeBron finishes his career with the Lakers.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think some way, somehow they find a way to make it work where he finishes it with the Lakers. Like, if you're LeBron, like, and this is no shade to Cleveland, because I worked in Ohio too and I covered the Cavs. At 40, even in my life right now, like, I don't want to go. I would not want to go to Cleveland to work again.
I'll go. If he's there, I'll go. So I thought that, and as I'm thinking about it now, I think he finishes in Cleveland. I just don't see where he is happy to what discount the Lakers are going to offer him.
Bro,
there's going to be some feathers ruffled. I think he's going to get paid. He's going to be upset about that conversation, that negotiation, and he's going to end up back in Cleveland. So Cleveland's going to have open arms. They're going to also have an open checkbook. And they're going to be like, we're going to take you and Bronny, and this is a storybook ending. We're okay with making this season about you because we haven't won in since you. We probably won't win again for a while. And this past year was disappointing. Let's make this a farewell tour.
Well, I mean, we go down a rabbit hole if you keep talking about this. But I also feel like if they added LeBron, yeah, you could say this is also his farewell tour season. But you could also say, like, let's keep it real. Like, is LeBron James still better basketball player than Evan Mobley right now? Yes, he is. Is LeBron James a better basketball player than Jared Allen?
It's not about being better. Sure. It's about being a better fit for your team and for your team to win a championship. I think he's a better player than a lot of people, but I don't think he fits there.
Is LeBron James a better fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers than them having Darius Garland?
Probably.
Exactly. So you don't even have to match.
That doesn't guarantee them to win a championship or come out the East. You might cut out again. I don't know what happened.
You don't have to mask it as a retirement tour. You could.
That's what you cut out again. I don't know what's going on. You may not have to mask it, but that's what it is, and there's gonna be so much money behind it. Nike, like, that's what it's gonna be. There's no way to avoid that. Like, you can still win games. They can still be successful. I'm not saying they won't be successful. I just don't see them winning a champion. Like, I don't see him winning a championship like that.
I'm at the point where I'm not doubting anything LeBron does. All right. Wanted to.
So you think he's gonna win a championship?
I'm not gonna doubt it. Not gonna doubt it. Okay. We gotta see how. We gotta see what, and obviously we have to see.
I don't doubt that he plays at a high level, but it depends on what kind of. If he takes a cut and he goes somewhere like a really good team, then yes, I can think. But I don't see him doing that. He's gonna be a main focal point, and I just don't see him winning a championship at 42 years old.
It's all about who he ends up playing with and with the capabilities of what those players are, particularly in the defensive end. All right, I want to get down to. Oh my god. I want to see if I can get some comments before we can get out of here. There's somebody who wanted to shout you out because you signed their jersey back in 2014.
Yeah, dope.
Shout out to
You're welcome,
Fran.
Sir.
Shout out to Fran Town. This is my favorite show too. Okay, I'm just gonna end it with the question that we really started the show with. I'm just laughing because this guy's name is John Morant Gun 1. Okay, I'm just gonna ask this question one more time, and we'll probably come on, and we probably should do this question because we won't come on until the trading deadline of next week, unless somebody gets traded. Where do you think Giannis ends up getting traded? And that's how we'll end the show.
I actually think that Golden State's going to put a lot of pressure on and panic and push and I feel like Milwaukee, he's going to want to go there. He's going to want to sign an extension. He's not going to wait to get traded. So I think he'll end up in Golden State. Crazy enough. Because I don't see the Knicks panicking and pushing the button right now. But I feel like Golden State's going to offer Milwaukee a good amount of stuff, man. I don't know if you've seen the list. They had a good amount of stuff they could offer with their future and current players.
I can understand why Golden State would do it. And it was, I forget what podcast I was listening to. I think it was Vincent Goodwill who mentioned this, but I might be misquoting him. Where he mentioned that LeBron James has basically created this, created almost a necessity where if you have a player to that caliber, you have to win every year. And even whether it's good for the franchise or not, right? Yeah. And so now Steph Curry is kind of entering this era where it's like, okay, because you want desperately to win as long as Steph Curry is playing basketball, you're willing to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo, which in theory sounds great. But I'm here to say right now, a team with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Steph Curry still isn't winning a championship.
You need more pieces.
You're gonna be more competitive, but you're still not winning championships.
For sure.
And I also tell you this: Draymond Green and Giannis Antetokounmpo do not fit. They do not. So
put him in a deal. He's an expiring contract, right? Or he's got another year on that.
You know, the rumor is they're gonna get Giannis. And they're gonna try for LeBron in the summer.
Farewell tour in Golden State. Interesting. For everybody, farewell for Draymond, Steph, LeBron. Everybody go on the same note. Mike went out. Yeah, it's still out. Damn it.
Take us home.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's back now.
Okay. All right. With that being said. It is time.
Know what to
so
do.
Take us home, Danny.
Y'all know what to do. Read, rate, subscribe, review. Peace.